When you hear the word radiation, what comes into your mind? Did you think about X-rays or movies about action stars saving the entire planet? How about robots? Or even worse, a zombie apocalypse? Good day, grade 10 learners. Welcome to Sci10 Quarter 2, Week 5 lesson about the effects of electromagnetic radiation on living things and the environment. I am teacher Phoebe Lopez, and I will be your Science 10 teacher for today. Before we proceed to our lesson, let us have first a pre-test. Do you have your notebook and pen with you? Now, classify if these radiations are ionizing or non-ionizing radiation. Write I if ionizing or Ni if non-ionizing. Are you ready? Now, let's start. Number 1. Gamma rays. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is I or ionizing. Number 2. Visible waves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. Number 3. Infrared waves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. Number 4. Microwaves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. The last but not the least, number 5. X-rays. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is I or ionizing. How many of you got the correct answer? If you did not get a perfect score or even got 0, do not worry because we are going to have that in our discussion today. Now, let's be ready for our lesson. Who understand radiation best other than mothers or grandmothers or even aunties? Do you wonder why? When you feel something bad in your body and you tell them, the most reasonable prompt is, "Kaka-cellphone mo yan," suspecting negative radiation from cell phones. But is it safe to blame cell phones? Will it harm you? Let's learn first radiation. Take note that radiation comes in two forms, the ionizing and non-ionizing. Ionizing radiation is a form of energy that acts by removing electrons from atoms and molecules of materials that include air, water, and living tissue. On the other hand, non-ionizing radiation means low-energy radiation that does not have enough energy to remove these mentioned electrons. So, let's visualize radiation on a horizontal wave. Imagine a horizontal wave wherein the left end and side has looser curls and gets tighter curls as it goes to the right. The left side has lower energy and the right side has higher energy. This is now our electromagnetic spectrum. This spectrum is categorized into 7 waves by dividing this spectrum into 7 bands. The first band or classification are radio waves. These are non-ionizing radiation. These waves have diverse uses in communications by your cell phone, radio broadcasting, and your Wi-Fi. Radio waves are responsible why you can hear me from here through radio. Remote controls and MRI scanning also use these radio waves. The second band or classification are microwaves, also a non-ionizing radiation. As obvious as the word gets, we use microwaves in the kitchen. Aside from its great use in ovens, microwaves are also used in radars and satellite communications with your cell phones. So can cell phone radiation make you sick? Of course not. But excessive use of cell phones can. So use your cell phones in moderation and make a great use out of it by answering your modules. The third band or classification are infrared rays. Again, these are non-ionizing radiation. Infrared rays are used in thermal imaging on security protocols, electrical heaters, and infrared cameras. Have you seen a thermal image scanner? You definitely were able to have one if you have been to an airport. The fourth band or classification are visible light. Now, this is the reason why we see colors among other things. Not just humans, but plants too. Make a great use of these waves through photosynthesis. Have you heard about fiber optics, which is believed to be the future of technology? Well, guess what? Fiber optics are making use of visible light. The fifth band are the ultraviolet or UV rays. The more you get to the right, the greater is its energy, making it ionizing. UV rays are everywhere. We make use of it in our vitamin D production of our body. Ever heard about sun tanning booths? These booths use safe UV rays. But take note that overexposure to UV rays can cause skin cancer. That's why it is recommended to limit your sun exposure from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. because that's when the sun's rays are the strongest. The second to the last band, or our sixth band, are the X-rays. X-rays, as we all know it, are used in medical imaging and treatments. Have you been to a hospital? The red light on X-ray rooms means an X-ray is ongoing and therefore pregnant women are not allowed to get inside. This is because X-rays are harmful to fetuses because it is an ionizing radiation. The last but not the least, and the band that gets the highest energy, are the gamma rays. Gamma rays are so powerful that these rays can cause cancer. But that does not mean that these rays cannot be put into good use. As much as gamma rays can cause cancer, these rays are also used in cancer therapy. Quite ironic, right? So the next time you hear a cancer patient getting lasered, think about gamma rays and its benefits. Well, have you thought about radiation as a whole? Radiation can bring both the good and the bad on living things and the environment. The whole trick there is to use electromagnetic waves on its suitable practical application to not make it to waste. Each band of the electromagnetic spectrum had different wavelengths, frequencies, and energies. Thus, each electromagnetic wave has different functions and uses. So, are you ready now for our post-test? Do you have your notebook and pen with you? Now, classify again if these radiations are ionizing or non-ionizing radiation. Write I if ionizing or Ni if non-ionizing. Are you ready? Now, let's start. Number 1. Microwaves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. Number 2. X-rays. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is I or ionizing. Number 3. Gamma rays? Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is I or ionizing. Number 4. Visible waves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. Number 5. Infrared waves. Is it I or Ni? Correct. It is Ni or non-ionizing. Did you now get 5/5 score in your post-test? Good job! So, that's all about the effects of electromagnetic waves on living things and the environment. Hear me again in our next radio-based instruction in Science 10. Once again, I am Teacher Phoebe Lopez saying, maging maalam sa agham. Bye-bye!